Happy Thursday. Welcome to first day of June 2023. I wish you guys have a great month, June trading. If you guys liking the content, hit the like button. If you guys making money, there's a PayPal link in the description. Please donate. I would really appreciate that. Okay, guys. So today we're gonna do things a bit different. Today I will start with things I'm keeping an eye and I'm looking to buy in next week or so. So next couple of weeks, these are the sectors I'm looking to buy. So I will start with them and then we'll move on to our regular stuff. Okay, so first is natural gas. I think it came very close to bottom. It might have already bottomed. Let's see. So if you watch my videos from last couple of weeks, if I hide this SMA chart, you can see I was telling everybody there is this gap here. Okay, you can see 1 hour chart, big gap here, and I marked that gap with this green dotted line. Let's go back to today. See what happened here. Today we came and we filled this gap. Fill this gap, and also you can see what's happening. You can see there is still bullish momentum. If I show you arrow, you can see PPO still bullish momentum. Price is going lower, PPO is going higher. Also, you can see RSI here. You can see still we have bullish momentum. So RSI and PPO, they are going higher as price is falling down. This is an early indication of reversal. So we are getting ready to trade this. So how we can know when is the right time to buy? You can draw a trend line on 1 hour chart. Depends on how you draw trend line. You can draw something like this. This could be a fake out. Wait for a break of this. So this is around 2.23. If you're not too worried, if you can wait for a couple of months, you're not too worried. If you're a long-term investor, this is a good time to buy UNG. I will tell you what exactly to buy. This is a trend line. If you want to wait for confirmation, you really want to see this price tomorrow or day after breaking above, so above 2.24, come back for a back test and then go higher. Okay, this is what you should be looking for. So you can buy for on a back test of this, or you can buy around the breakout of this. But if you're not, if you can hold for a couple of months to a couple of weeks, and you're not worried about exactly, you're not that your risk tolerance is high, then you can even buy now. So my point is, this is what I'm looking to buy. Now there are a couple of ETFs you can buy to trade natural gas. If I go on daily chart, Boyle is the one. If your risk tolerance is very, very high, this is 3x ETF. So this is like very, very dangerous. This is more for day traders. I won't recommend you to buy this. But if you want to make quick money and if you can hold, this is 3x leverage. So what that means, if natural gas goes 1% up, this goes 3% up. If natural gas goes 1% down, this goes 3% down. So this is very, very risky. But up to you if you can take that risk. There's a big reward with big risk. So you have to take the decision. What I would recommend, you can buy UNG. This is only 1x. So basically UNG ETF, you can see natural gas was down. This is future, so it's up now. So natural gas was down around 4%. So this is also down around 4%. This is less risky. So you can buy this. This is very safe. And also UNL. This is the other one you can look to buy. These are the two ones which are on my top spot right now. So I'm looking to buy this very, very soon. And depending on your risk tolerance, you can buy one of these. So that's natural gas. That's number one on my list. Second on my list is gold. So I got rid of all my gold stocks. If you watch my videos from yesterday, I told you I've been buying gold miners. I bought Barrick Gold and Newmont. I took profits on all of them, and I'm now getting ready for a pullback. So so you can see what's happening here. Gold, I was telling you from last couple of days, gold is looking for a bounce, and this bounce will likely fail. Now gold is in the sell zone. This red box is a sell zone. It touched today right into it. It went into it, and it got rejected. Now there's still some room. Gold can go as high as 2000, but I don't want to risk my profits, so I took all my profits, and now I'm waiting for this bounce to fail, and I'm gonna buy around either equal lows, which is around 1939, or lower low. So this is Fibonacci retracement, and around 0.618, which is around 1900. It's possibility gold can go there. That will be the perfect buy. So gold and silver is next on my radar. I took profits and I'm waiting for this dip. I'll wait. And gold miners is what I'm looking to buy. You can see gold miners. This is also the sell zone. It hit the sell zone today. They were up 3.5%. At one point, they were up almost 5%. And you can see it sold off. And I took profits. And now I'm waiting for this dip. Gold miners can still go a little bit higher. This yellow line here. Follow my cursor. This yellow line here around 32.65. This is a gap here. It can go as high as that, fill that gap, and then and then go down. You can see this trend line, this white trend line. You see this support here. Let me hide volume because it's not a bit clear, so it's clear for you guys. You can see support here, support here, support here, and we did not even touch support. So it's quite possible this bounce can fail, and we might not even go that low. We might just come back to this support and then bounce. Okay, so you see what happened here? That's what I'm expecting. You see, we got a bounce, then we came back, made a lower high, sorry, lower low, and then we had bullish PPO and RSI was making higher high, PPO was making higher high. This is what I'm expecting. So I expect this bounce to fail and make equal low or lower low. And that will be the time I will be looking to buy gold miners. That's my strategy. So I'm just waiting. I'm keeping an eye out next couple of weeks. If that happens, that's going to be perfect entry for gold miners. So this is second one. And third one I'm looking to buy is Nike. You can see Nike here. You can see this support zone here. You can see this nice support zone here. And let me make this green. And let me make this also green. So you can see Nike is on nice support here. It came down today around 1.55%, came right into the support zone. From here, I'm expecting a bounce. Now, if I draw SMA lines here, you can see we are now very far out, and at minimum, I'm looking for a bounce until this 200 SMA, which is this blue line. So from today's close, that bounce will take us to around 8%. Okay, so that's my minimum target on Nike. Let's make an arrow here. From here, I'm looking for a bounce till 200 SMA. That's the third one I'm keeping an eye. Disney is also good. This is also in long-term portfolio. You can see if I zoom out, it's in a buy zone here. You can start accumulating in long-term portfolio. This is a fourth stock. And then after that, the other two sectors which I'm keeping an eye are financials and healthcare and Russell 2000. So financials here made a bounce today, but I think it's soon going to bottom in next week or so. I'm expecting this to bottom, so I'm looking to buy banks. You can buy this whole sector XLF, which is very good, and also XLV. This is healthcare sector. It's basically came below this trend line and now it's bouncing. The only thing I'm not happy is there's no divergence. So any pullbacks on this trend line, look to buy XLV. Any healthcare stocks, your favorite stocks, you can look to buy. And the last thing which I'm keeping an eye is US 2000. So this is IWM ETF you can buy. So this is Russell 2000. This is list of 2000 companies. There's a gap here. Okay, so next couple of weeks to any day we come close to this gap around 170. I'm buying this. So these are the 5 stocks I'm looking to buy. So keep an eye on that. So let's get started let's start with our regular stuff. MES chart. This is basically S&P 500. We got a bounce today. SPY, which is the ETF we used to trade, almost 1% higher, and that's fine. We got a bounce. I do expect this pullback. Now we're getting very close to the end of this day. Actually, tomorrow is the bottom of this. So are we going to get bottom tomorrow? Doesn't look like. There's also this cycle low for Russell 2000, which I talked about IWM. It's coming next week. 2 weeks from now. So it's possible we will get a little bit still. It's still possible we can get this sell off, and we get this sell off with Russell 2000 instead of this cycle of S&P 500. We'll see how it goes. But my point is, this is too extended. I'm not looking to buy SPY here. Okay, this is way too far out. I already told you sectors which are at the bottom. I'm looking to buy those sectors. SPY is way too out, so I'm not looking to buy that. And also, if I show you this other chart on SPY, this is the futures. Those who follow my channel, they know. The sell zone is between these dotted lines and this purple line, and now we are back into this sell zone. This rotation is now 4%, and before we thought we're going to go lower, but now we're bouncing. Now we're back in this sell zone. This is not where I'm looking to buy S&P 500. I will wait for a bottom. I'll wait for at minimum this price to go below 4,049 or even come here. Surprisingly, I think later this year we'll be here in this buy zone. Okay, this is not the time to buy. This is the time to sell. Market can go as high as, remember, this whole area is the sell zone, so market can go as high as this top purple line, which is at 43.73. So it is possible we have maybe 1 or 2% more upside. Okay, so 40 30, 1% is $40. So not $40, 40 points. So it can go 40 70, and then 40, so 2 or 3% up. It can still go 2 and 3% up. But do you want to risk 2 or 3% for a massive downside? No, you can just wait for price to be at least below this yellow line. This will be the perfect buy zone, and I think by the end of this year we could be here. So don't FOMO, just relax. You already know the sectors you need to buy. Don't worry about getting bullish on S&P 500 here. Also, this rotation chart I can quickly show you. Every time we are above 375, it's a good time to go to the reverse direction. And you can see now this rotation was 600. Now we went to 375. We rotated up 400, 350. Now this rotation is 387. Okay, so we're getting very close to 400 now. It's a good time for a reverse rotation. So just be patient. And yeah, what I'm trying to tell you is this is not the time to buy. Okay, so that's covered. Let's quickly look at SPY. What happens? SPY is the ETF which we use to trade S&P 500. So this is 1 hour chart, and you can see we made a new high on divergence. You can see what's happening here. You can see divergence on PPO. Let me make it better. And you can even see RSI has divergence. So we made a new high. Made a new high on divergence. So this is an early sign of reversal. And there is a big gap here around 406. Let me go to daily and show you what's going on. There's a big gap here. You can see this massive gap here, 406. That's the gap. There's another gap here around 395. These gaps will be filled, and most likely these gaps will be filled this year. I just don't know exactly when. So what I'm trying to tell you, this is not the time. There's also a gap to the top side. It's possible we can go to 427 and fill that gap first before we come down. But be careful, guys. This is not the time to buy. The time to buy was here. The time to buy was here. This is the time to take profits. Okay, so be very careful. Do not FOMO. Relax. Go on vacation. Put your money in savings account if you're not sure. But do not buy here. Do not buy any tech stocks or S&P 500 ETF here. You can buy financials, healthcare, and other tech sectors which I told you. So that covers S&P 500. If I go to futures, let's go to 1 hour chart and see if we see anything different. You can see same thing. Actually, futures did not make a new high, so but you can see what happened here. We made a divergence. We made a new high on divergence. RSI and PPO were lower. Price was making higher high. PPO was making lower high, and RSI was making lower high. We got a dump. Now I think we're forming a topping process, to be honest. Okay, now let's go to Nasdaq, which is the tech sector. MNQ. Let's go to daily, and we surprisingly made equal high. There was a debt ceiling bill. People are happy. I think everything is priced in. As soon as it's signed, probably we're going to get a dump. But I think the top is in. I think this top, which happened on Tuesday, 30th of May, most likely that is the top. We will see how it goes. I think we're getting ready for a dip. And again, the cycle low for Nasdaq is 20th of June. From here, next couple of weeks, we can sell down. We can have a dead cat bounce, and then we keep going lower. Okay, so look how parabolic this is. If I go to something like NDX, let me show you NDX chart. Let's go to weekly chart, and you can see NDX weekly. Is this something you want to buy? There's like no cool down, guys. This is very, very parabolic. You can see RSI is green. Whenever it prints green, this is overbought. You can see green here. It's overbought. Every time it's green, you should not be looking to buy. You should be looking to buy when it's red here. That's the when you should be buying. If I go to daily, see here, total green, guys. This is not the time to buy. You can see here green, not time to buy. You need to buy when it's red. Okay, you can see red here. You can see here red. You can see red here. That's when you should be looking to buy, not here. And if I go to this other chart, this is other indication of Nasdaq. You can see what's happening here. We are again back above purple line, and this is not a time to buy. Every time we are above purple line, this is a good opportunity short. So you should be looking to buy SQQQ inverse ETF or looking to buy put options here. You can see how nicely every time we are above purple line, we sell back to bottom purple line. And even when we clear near purple line, we come back to all the way down to the bottom purple line. So very, very parabolic right now. Look to take profits here. Here also this chart, you can see what's going on here. You can see every time we are above yellow line, close to purple line, we get a dump. See, now we are very parabolic here. We're just going straight up, guys. This is not where you need to buy, okay? All tech sectors are so parabolic. People are trying to FOMO in. Stay away, guys. Be very, very careful here. We can get a massive dump any day. And if I show you something on triple Qs, there are massive gaps on triple Qs. At minimum, there's a gap here around 332. Wait for this gap to fill, okay? Do not get too excited. Wait for at least this gap to get filled. If you want to buy, wait for a dump. You can see this green line. This is 10 moving average. Is too far out, okay? So it's going way higher, very fast. It needs to cool down. Every time you can see this green line needs to catch up, okay? Every time price goes too high, it comes back to touch this green line. Every time goes high, touch this line. You can see here, every time it went high, come back to touch the line, okay? So at minimum, wait for this to come back, cool down. Best case is fill this gap, then a dead cat bounce, and then going lower. There are multiple gaps to the downside. Another massive gap here. I don't know if we're going to go as low as 270, but all these gaps around 307, they are looking possible later this year. So be very careful here. And let's go to 1 hour chart and see if we see anything new here. Again, we did not make a new high, but you can see even if we made a new high, it will be on a divergence on PPU and RSI. So time to be careful. Let's go to NASDAQ 100 and see if we made a new high. No, we still did not make a new high. You can see here we made a new high on divergence. Same story as US 500 divergence. Okay, so be careful here. Let's move along to US 30, which is Dow Jones. We had a bounce today, but I think this bounce will fail. Looking for a little bit lower prices. It's already in the buy zone, but looking for a little bit more prices, more lower prices, and that will be a good area to buy before a bounce. US 2000 already covered. The cycle low is coming here around 12th of June. So next couple of weeks looking for sell off. Anywhere here it's in the buy zone, then I will be looking for my target is 1900. So even from today, if you want to buy IWM, if you're scared of missing out, from today you're looking at 7.5% gain. Okay, so but I want to wait for the next couple of weeks and see how price action pays out. The lower we go, you should look to buy. And I think most likely this low here, it will hold. I don't think it's going to go below that. That's the best case, I think. So the lower we go, that's going to present a good opportunity to buy Russell 2000. And I covered natural gas, which is looking very good. Dollar sold off today. And you can see looking for lower prices in dollar. Gold already covered, looking for this bounce to fail and then lower prices, and then we're going to buy this. Let's keep moving. Oil sold off heavily yesterday, and then today we had a recovery, but I think this is going to fail. Cycle low came yesterday, and most likely from here we're going to have a dead cat bounce. So this is a resistance. It can go. You can see this cycle high. This is the dark blue cycle. So oil is going to go higher a little bit more and then fail, and it's going to make a new low. Okay, that's I think the most likely scenario. Equal lows or lower low. So be very careful in oil. This bounce is going to fail very, very soon. Bitcoin, let's see, Bitcoin very close to the buy zone, and this is a trend line, and I do think Bitcoin is going to go at least touch this trend line before have another go to touch previous highs or max out at this resistance. So You should be planning to buy Bitcoin in around this trend line. Good prices are coming soon. Anywhere in this box is a good price to buy. Ethereum, same thing. This is trend line here. Look to buy around this trend line, and we are getting very close to this trend line. Anywhere around 1700 is a good area to buy Ethereum. Wheat had a bullish move today, already in this wedge, and it's holding this wedge. The lower we go, we still have divergence on PPO and RSI. So nothing to worry about wheat. I'm waiting for this to break out. It can happen any day, anytime. So it's in the bullish falling wedge, waiting for a breakout to occur. Copper, this is going to bottom before gold. So looking for this bounce to fail very soon. Copper was up a bit, but looking for this to fail, make an equal low. With that, when that happens, I'm waiting for uh, PPO and RSI want to see some divergence, and then it's going to bounce. So that will be a good area to buy. JJC is a good ETF to buy to trade in copper. Palladium is looking good. You can see it made a new low. You can see here, actually it did not make a new low. This low was lower low. So I'm looking for another low, so a little bit more lower. And to trade Palladium, you can draw a trend line here. This trend line like this on daily. Wait for a break of this trend line. And whenever that happens, you can buy. Let's see 1 hour chart, how it's doing. This is the 1 hour chart, and you can see it started to make some divergences in RSI and PPO. So I think these are good prices to accumulate Palladium. You can see PPO and RSI. You can see prices going lower, but PPO and RSI are going higher. So wait for this trend line to break out, and then that breakout will be the buy signal, same as natural gas, which I showed earlier on. So Palladium is looking good for long-term investment right now. These are good prices. Mortgage rates are going down, TNX. Actually, this gap is filled, so we can get rid of that now. And I think with the S&P 500 going low, it's possible we are now getting ready. You can see this cycle low is here. Maybe a little bit of more downside, and then I'm looking for a bounce very soon on TNX. And PFIX is what you can use to buy TNX. Bonds, bonds having bullish move, but it made another gap up, and it's possible that I might have to adjust this a bit. It's possible that the low happened here, okay, and now we're getting ready for this bounce, and this bounce will soon fail. So this bounce is like this now, so I have to adjust this a bit. Cycle analysis, you need to keep updating based on the latest info. So this should fail very soon, and then I'm looking for actual equal low or lower low, and that will be the bottom on bonds. And let's keep moving on other sectors. XLE, as I mentioned in oil's case, this bounce is going to fail. Looking for this gap. This is my target 71.55. Looking for that to buy here. XLU gave back yesterday's gain, but again it's not able to cross above this trend line, this white trend line you can see. As soon as it closes above that, that will be a good area to buy. There's a gap fill around 65.45. I think it's going to go cover that very soon. So these are good times to buy XLU. XLV I covered, healthcare, it's on this nice trend line, look to buy. XLF I already covered, so looking for a little bit lower prices and buy. Industrial is also looking for little bit more lower prices. Finding support on this 200 EMA. We're barely hanging in there, okay? So if we fall below that, that's going to be bearish. And real estate sector stood flat, so looking for a little bit more lower prices and then a bounce. Okay, let's cover some tech stocks now. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla keep moving higher, and you can see it managed to close above this, all these moving averages. Now it's going too far, looks like a parabolic move. It's above this blue line, which is 200 SMA, light blue is 200 EMA. It's right on this resistance actually right now. If I hide all these, maybe it's a bit clear for you. Let's see if we can do that. So you can see what's happening here. You can see this, it broke off this purple trend line, but now it's right on this resistance. You can see resistance here, right on this previous highs, and you can see a lot of confluence here. So this is a time to be careful. And if I draw a Fibonacci retracement, I think I pull back around 178 to 168 will be healthy. and then another dead cat bounce, and then we should be looking for these lower prices. There's a massive gap here on Tesla, so be careful about this gap. There's a gap around 145. There's another gap around 161. So you got to be careful. There's multiple gaps to the downside. It filled, there was a gap here above around 202 or something. So it filled those gaps. So be very careful in Tesla. This is not the time to buy Tesla. Apple, keep going higher, keep making new highs. But the thing which is bothering me is PPO and RSI still not able to make a new high. Okay, so they're still trending lower. You can see still divergence on PPO and RSI. The multiple gaps on Apple and also in this big resistance zone. This is a sell zone. You can see previous highs. It made a new high. It's right where the resistance is. Okay, and you can see this trend line. It's again back testing this trend line. If I extend this trend line, it's back testing it. So it can fail anytime. This PPO bearishness is telling me that we are getting ready for a dump. Google struggling to go higher. Again, a gap here. These green lines are all the gap. There's another big massive gap here, 113. So it can start dump anytime. Be very careful. This not time to buy any tech stock. They're very parabolic. Microsoft again bounce, but still not be able to make a new high. Again, divergences on PPO. RSI is no divergence, but PPO has divergence. So be very careful on Microsoft. Multiple gaps to the downside, another gap around 276. Be very careful. Snowflakes 1% up. Massive gap here, massive gap to the down. So there are gaps both sides. So looking for lower prices. Cycle low is coming around 16th of June. So at minimum, look for this to go down and buy at lower prices. Meta up 3%, but again, you can see same story, PPO, RSI. Let's see if RSI still has a little bit of divergence. If I try to extend this, let's see. Let's try to see if Meta, I think RSI looks flat, but still divergence on PPO. And we gapped up again, another gap from here. So I don't think it's going to go as down as this, but wait for a pullback at minimum. There's a massive gap here. Also, there's a gap here around 290. It's possible we can even go as high as that and then cool down, but this is not the time to buy Meta. Amazon here, again, same thing, same story, divergence on PPO and RSI. So this is not the time to buy Amazon with multiple gaps to the downside. So be very careful here. And Netflix, new highs on Netflix. And let's see if PPO, you can see PPO has divergence, RSI has no divergence. So looking for lower prices on Netflix, and also there are multiple gaps on Netflix. So guys, all these tech stocks are going higher on multiple gaps. So you got to be very careful. Eventually these gaps will be filled. Also, it's on this trend line. You see this trend line? So it can go at least at minimum to this trend line and then bounce. So wait for a pullback. Don't buy tech stocks now. Nvidia, massive, another 5%. There was a news with partnership with Microsoft, so it's going higher, but another massive gap. This earnings gap will be filled. I just don't know when, but it will be filled. So be very careful here. AMD up 1%. Again, massive gap here. Couple of days down, maybe a little bit of bounce. Now I think it's going to keep going lower. And Baba here. There is also a gap to the downside. There are a couple of gaps, green gaps. Although I see lower prices with divergence on PPO and RSI, but I think it's possible we can still go a bit lower. There's a gap. It can bounce to fill this gap, 85, and then go lower. But at minimum, I think this gap here around 71.95 will be filled. I'm not sure about this bottom gap, but it looks like this gap is a due. So when we go here, look to buy here. All right. Disney already covered, Nike already covered. I think that's it, guys. And then if you are interested in Canadian stocks, basically I'm looking for Canadian financial stock. They're looking very attractive. ZEB is the ETF which holds all the bank, and XIC is the ETF to buy Canadian sectors. So I'm looking for a little bit lower prices around 30.96, and then I'm gonna go buy XIC. So like this, I think that's what's most likely gonna happen. Okay, guys, thank you. If you're still here, please hit the like button on your way out, and I'll appreciate sharing with your friends and family. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.